good to see you. It is good to be back. I'm Reverend Robin. My pronouns are she, her. I have the honor and delight of sharing this lead ministry team with my colleague, Dr. Tuli Patel. And today we are so grateful that you have chosen to spend some of your precious time in the midst of this glorious day. You've decided to spend some of your time here with us at Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a community committed to radical inclusion, to feeding the human spirit, and to healing the world. We have a very special guest with us today that I want to introduce to you, and hopefully you'll spend some time after our service connecting with. As some of you may know, we have two congregations that we are in partnership with. I think my mic might need to come down. Is it echoey to anyone else? So we have two congregations that we are in partnership with, one in Barot, Transylvania, and the other congregation is in Jawai, India. And we have one of the leaders from the congregation in Jawai is here visiting us in Summit this week. Juban Lamar, if you'd rise so that we can give you our welcome. Also, an invitation to join us right after the service down in Fellowship Hall. We are going to take a moment to celebrate, to honor Dr. Tuli Patel's 21 years of service and wish her well, albeit a little tearfully, as she embarks on her 6-month sabbatical, a well-earned sabbatical indeed. Sylvia Walker's memorial will be held today at 3 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. There's also a virtual link that's available that will be provided for you on Slack should you want to attend virtually. And last, we have our Rapid Response Network training, how we can show up and support our immigrant neighbors and friends and family members. That will be taking place right here at 5:30 p.m. today. No pre-registration is required. Would you take a moment and take a breath with me this day? And welcome yourself into this space. Maybe you were rushing here into this moment, or perhaps you're just catching your breath, your awareness. And then as you welcome yourself wherever you are on the journey, first time, 100th time, brimming with joy or ringing with worry, would you take that same care and compassion and for a moment turn to your neighbors and welcome one another? Hello, neighbor.
Good morning. My name is Misa Iwama. I'm the Director of Music Ministry, and I'm so happy to be here today with Jamaine Cripe, who I think you probably introduced yourself a little later, and also with John O'Neill and Benny Kunievsky. And we're going to be doing a lot of singing today. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we're going to start with number 389. That's gathered here in the mystery of the hour. So the way we're going to do it today is start all in unison. So we can get the tune familiar. times unison, but then we're going to try it as a round. And Jamaine will take half of the room, and I'll take half of the room. But we'll start together. And it goes like this. It's 3, 8, 9. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Together. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the body, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the body, Spirit draw near. Spirit draw near. Should we all sing that? Spirit draw near.
Morning, friends. You already know my name, but I'll say it again anyway. I'm Tuli Patel. I'm a plus-sized woman from South Asia, today wearing a blue kurta and a white salwar, and so excited to welcome you all to our liberal religious community. When we gather, we light our chalice, symbol of our faith. The chalice has a candle in the center, representing all of our individual lights, and a bowl, which represents this gathered community that holds that individual flame. So in order to light the candle, I would invite somebody forward. Do I have a volunteer? Maybe, oh, lovely. Come on up, please. Reverend Robin will help you. Yes, way to go. That was your photo op. Thank you so much. Excellent, thank you. And usually we have words that go along with the chalice lighting. And our words this morning are written by Lisa Garcia Sampson, who says, in these wild, historic, and uncertain times, we gather to remember who we are, who we belong to, and what we are called to do. We light this chalice, we kindle the spirit of the great turning in the movement for justice alive in this nation today. May we feel it in our bones, and in the stillness of this hour, may we sense it calling our name. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Tooley. Today, we honor and affirm the presence of a new life in our community. And so I would like to call forward, he's so ready. Are you ready? I'd like to call forward Kira and Alex and Jamie. Alex and Kira, we are so excited to welcome your son into our community today. For over 110 years, parents just like you have brought their babies into this sanctuary to be dedicated by the gathered community. Just like it was long ago, it is our collective gathering, our intentions, and living into our covenant that make this space and this ritual sacred. Kira and Alex, what have you named this child?
Jameson Toro Pritchard.
You have chosen a name that honors the distinct stories from each of your families. In Jameson's first name, we hear the echo of Kira's grandpa, Jim, or James. And Jameson brings forth your Scotch-Irish and Scotch-Welsh heritages. This first name comes with the hope, dear Jamie, that you will embody the spirit of independence which can be exhausting, and sometimes you need to yawn it out. And also yet be the one who loves fiercely while finding some flexibility in your convictions. You chose Toro to honor Alex's mother. It is her maiden name. With this name comes the abiding hope that her brightness and her laughter will be in your being, Jamie. May you carry this adventurous spirit and, as she did, appreciate life with a capital L. Your last name brings you together as a family. So may you know the strength of this new family and the ancestors who have gone before you. These waters that we have here have been gathered across more than 32 years of our in-gathering ceremony. It is our annual ritual where each member brings water of significance to a common vessel. And each year we mingle those waters with the ones from the prior year. And so it is, we will bless you now, Jamie, with the waters of community. What do we think? Okay, we're good. Yeah. And Mama and Daddy are right there. Jamie, as I touch these waters to your forehead, we offer the intention that you have a voracious appetite for learning. May you be strong in your convictions, clear in your values, but always flexible enough to take in new information. We bless your heart now. I knew you're gonna. I knew that was gonna happen. May your heart be nourished by the love of this community and the ones who care abundantly for you. May you be a good friend on this blue spinning ball we call home. And may your heart receive great love in return. We bless your feet, that they may travel the pathways of peace, showing us new roads ahead and discovering many adventures. And yet, in your travels, dear one, may these feet, no matter how far you journey, always bring you back home again. And last, this is going to be a tricky one, may these hands hold the ones you love, knowing the security of true companionship and the tender care of this interdependent web we call life. Alex and Kira, today we affirm your immense responsibility as parents to Jamie. It will be your task in the years and decades to come to share your stories, your rituals, your hopes with Jamie, to gift Jameson love that will allow him to find his own path, to raise him with critical thinking and the ability to be mindful, to be a student of life, to foster resilience and the knowledge that a mistake is an opportunity for learning, not the end of a pursuit. Will you both accept this charge to the best of your abilities? If you are so willing, please say, we will.
We will.
And now I'd like to invite Jameson's family to rise. Parents cannot raise a child alone. As it is often said, beloved, it takes a village. And so I ask you now, will you promise to be a part of that village, to prepare Jameson to find his path, to build a loving, supportive community that can nurture his search? If you are willing to accept this charge to the best of your abilities, please say now, we will.
We will.
Allow you to be seated.
I'd like to invite the children of the congregation and the youth to stand. They're all looking at me like, me? Yes, you. Stand. No, just the children.
Children.
18 years or under.
Yes.
There we
You
go.
are the closest to baby Jamie's age, and you will be working and playing with him. As Jamie grows, he's going to look up to you. Will you speak to him with kindness, treat him with fairness, and welcome him into your circle as friends? If so, will you please answer yes?
Yes.
I'd like to invite the congregation to rise in body or spirit. We as a congregation also pledge our commitment to Jamie. Will you take upon yourselves the privilege and responsibility of helping to nurture the life and spirit of this child? Will you pledge your love and care in teaching our children and welcome them into our congregational family? If so, say we will.
And now may the love that is our source and ultimate return sustain us and hold us and be our guide as we become companions in this great journey we call life. Amen.
Amen.
And if you'd like to offer congratulations, we can. Thank you, Juan. Hi. Great job.
Now we're going to sing again. We're going to do 298. That is also in the larger gray hymnal. It's Wake Now My Senses. And the words are so beautiful and so apropos for the service that we're going to do all 5 verses. So the 3 that are contained within the actual sheet music and then the 2 verses afterwards. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join in singing.
Thanks, Robin. One of the ways that we do that is by meeting with members of the congregation for one-on-one conversations to make space for folks to talk about whatever's on their hearts. It may be something you're struggling with, something you're going through. It may be a joy that you want to share. We always say that all of us will be in need of spiritual care at some points in our lives. If you find yourself now in need of spiritual care, you can reach out to one of the chaplains or to a member of our lead ministry team to be matched with a chaplain. After service today, I'll be in the lobby. If you have something that you want to share, a sorrow, a joy, something on your heart, I'm here to listen. Another ritual that our chaplains lead is our community candle lighting. These are times when we come forward in the congregation to light candles for the sorrows, the joys, the gratitudes, what's on our heart today. This morning, we lit a candle of welcome to our friend Juban Lamar from the Unitarian Church in Jawai, India. We light a candle of sorrow and solidarity for the thousands of immigrants who have been arrested by masked ICE agents, pulled from mowing lawns, looking for day labor jobs, selling fruit, simply driving cars, and are being held in detention or may already have been deported. We hold space for all of those living in constant fear of arrest. We light a candle of sympathy for Himanshu Goodluck, who just found out this morning that one of his relatives in India passed away prematurely. Her name was Seema Mehta. We light a candle of hope that our New Jersey legislators pass the Reproductive Freedom and Health Equity Bill package, which will codify protections for trans youth. This is a little bit of an assignment. I placed some QR codes in the lobby and the back of the sanctuary. And on your way out, we would love it if you could take a paper, scan the QR code, reach out to your legislators, and also share this information widely with friends and family in New Jersey. We light a candle of appreciation for Dr. Tuli Patel's 21 years of service and leadership. And we light a candle of joy and welcome for another new member of the Beacon family. Viren Earl Grounder Bradley was born on June 24th to Madan and Ishmael, and we welcome him. Just babies all around. At this point, we invite all of you to come forward and light candles, and if you're joining us online, to light a candle at home.
you join me in the spirit of prayer, of meditation, contemplation, sacred listening? If you can find ease in your breath once more as we began at the very start of our service, taking in a deep breath, slowing it just a bit on the release. Companion me in this breath right now that connects us to every living thing that has ever been, and the generations who will follow long after we are gone. Here, beloved, we still the mind and center into life, spirit of life, holy presence, gracious love of all loves. Here before these candles of joy and sorrow, of aspiration and inspiration, here we bring our heartaches and our worries. Here we come authentically as we are. And here we receive the blessings of being human, new life in our midst, the wisdom prepared and offered freely, the endurance of unspeakable beauty just outside the window and within each one of us. The visit of a sibling in faith from around the world. The faithful service and commitment of 21 years to our beacon. Here we receive the blessings of being human, the community that holds our heartaches and worries, where we celebrate our joys. Here where we point to that which we can barely name and yet weaves its way across the generations. So, beloved, may we live in the abundance of that loving energy. May our minds be centered on all that is possible together. Amen, and blessed be.
We're going to sing again. This is Spirit of Life. We can remain seated for this one. It is number 1, 2, 3. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come ocean, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning. My name is Jamaine Cripe. My role here at Beacon is the Lifespan Coordinator, where I take care of all of your children. I'm an African American woman with graying locks that I'm battling back with blue and black hair dye, wearing a fabulously colored red dress and blue glasses. This morning's reading comes to you from Chicago Black Renaissance poet and author who I recently discovered named Margaret Walker, who shares the following in her poem, For My People. For my people everywhere singing their slave songs repeatedly, their dirges and their ditties and their blues and jubilees, praying their prayers nightly to an unknown God, bending their knees humbly to an unseen power. For my people lending their strength to the years, to the gone years and the now years and the maybe years, washing, ironing, cooking, scrubbing, sewing, mending, hoeing, plowing, digging, planting, pruning, patching, dragging along, never gaining, never reaping, never knowing, never understanding. For my playmates in the clay and dust and sand of Alabama, backyards playing, baptizing, and preaching, and doctor, and jail, and soldier, and school, and mama, and cooking, and playhouse, and concert, and store, and hair, and Miss Chumbi and Cumpy. For the cramped, bewildered years we went to school to learn, to know the reasons why, and the answers to, and the people who, and the places where, and the days when, in memory of the bitter hours when we discovered we were black, and poor, and small, and different. And nobody cared, and nobody wondered, and nobody understood. For the boys and girls who grew up in spite of these things to be man and woman, to laugh and dance and sing and play and drink their wine and religion and success, to marry their playmates and bear children, and then die of consumption and anemia and lynching. For my people thronging 47th Street and Lenox Avenue in New York and Rampart Street in New Orleans, lost, disinherited, dispossessed, and happy people filling the cabarets and taverns and other people's pockets and needing bread and shoes and milk and land and money and something all their own. For my people walking blindly, spreading joy, losing time being lazy, sleeping when hungry, shouting when burdened, drinking when hopeless, tied and shackled and tangled amongst ourselves by unseen creatures who tower over us ominously and laugh. For my people blundering and groping and floundering in the dark of churches and schools and clubs and societies, associations and councils and committees and conventions, distressed and disturbed and deceived and devoured by money-hungry, glory-craving leeches, preyed on by the facile force of state and fad and novelty, by false prophet and holy believer. For my people standing staring, trying to fashion a better way, from confusion, from hypocrisy, and misunderstanding, trying to fashion a world that will hold all the people, all the faces, all the Adams and Eves and their countless generations. Let a new earth rise. Let another world be born. Let a bloody peace be written in the sky. Let a second generation full of courage issue forth. Let a people loving freedom come to growth. Let a beauty full of healing and a strength of final clenching be the pulsing in our bodies and our blood, in our spirits. Let the martial songs be written, let the dirges disappear. Let a race of men now rise and take control.
We're going to sing Filled with Loving Kindness, which is in the Teal hymnal, the paperback. It's number 1031. I like to think of this not only as a meditation, but also as a blessing. And I think that not only do we start with wishing ourselves peace, but then we wish other people to have peace. And as Jamaine just said, we fashion a world that will hold all the people. Now, the words to this meditation are traditional and Buddhist, and Tuli Patel often leads meditations with these words. So I think that we can offer this to Tuli, who is right on the other side of that door looking in, as we sing Filled with Loving Kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be whole. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
Thank you, Ollie. Jameson is helping me keep it together. So I was introduced to Unitarian Universalism pretty much my first weekend in the United States. I had come for graduate work to the Boston area, and I landed in with a Unitarian Universalist family. We had connections from back home in India. He was raised Hindu, she was raised Quaker. So it's the perfect religion for interfaith families, is it not? And I landed on a Friday, and on a Saturday we ran around Faneuil Hall. Thank you, Allison. Can we open the window, please? Thank you so much. We ran around Faneuil Hall and did some touristy things in the Boston area. And then on Sunday, they walked me down to the UU congregation down the street in Belmont, Massachusetts. I thought it was the best thing since apple pie, right? And I thought that that's what all Americans did, that they woke up on a Sunday morning and went to the UU congregation down the street. If only, right? If only. If only. I then proceeded to be a pretty regular attender at Belmont, Massachusetts. I then met my now husband, then boyfriend, and he was raised a Christian in India. It's a small community called the Syrian Christians who were converted to Christianity by St. Thomas in the 1st century AD. And again, we're sort of an interfaith couple, right? So what do? You go to the Unitarian Church because that's what happens. So we worshiped at Oak Park, Illinois, which is a Frank Lloyd Wright building, beautiful building, before they did the reconstruction. So you're sitting in the sanctuary and experiencing the pigeons, keeping the preacher company while the sermon is going on. So we worshiped in Oak Park, Illinois, in Los Angeles, all the places we lived, and then finally in St. Louis, Missouri, where I finally got serious about it because my oldest son was then kindergarten age, and we had to sort of get serious about religious education. So we started taking him to the Unitarian Church. And then we came back here to the New Jersey area, and I had known of this congregation when we used to be two properties. We used to be this property and a property up the street, which was a leaky old building. And I used to go for Buddhist meditation, and it was very interesting to be chanting and hearing the drip, drip, drip into a bucket. So my journey is long, and then 20 years ago, Marty Rothfelder, who's in the doorway, hired me as a temporary person, and then I went for sexuality education training. How many of you here in the room have gone for sexuality education training? Raise your hands. I know you're here. Right. And that changed my life because I was like, if there's a group of people that's doing work like that, such phenomenal, foundational, amazing work, it needs me to do more than just worship on a Sunday morning. And so I became the permanent hire, and here I am 21 years later. But what keeps me back is not just the sex ed piece, but also the hope, peace, and love that I feel every single day that I am here. And so with hope, peace, and love on our minds, this morning's offering will be most gratefully received.
Come ye, ye who would have peace. Hear me, what I say now. I say, come ye, ye who have no fear. It's time to learn how to pray. I say, come ye, ye who have no fear of what tomorrow brings, child. Start praying for a better world of peace and all good things. I say, come ye, ye who still have hope, that we can still survive now. Let's work together as we should and fight to stay alive. I say, come ye, ye who would have love. It's time to take a stand. Don't mind must be paid for the love of your fellow man. I say, come ye, who would have hope, who would have peace, who would have love, who would have peace.
Thank you, Misa, John, and Benny. This sermon is dedicated to my parents, James and Joyce Howard, my greatest teachers, who encouraged me to love and appreciate the power of words. As a religious educator, one of the joys I get to indulge in is the children's section of bookstores, garage sales, and libraries. There's magic in these knowledge-filled places that tickles my soul and reinforces the idea that our words, written and spoken, have power. They often inspire me to write my own stories, like the following. You know how some people collect things? Some collect stamps or coins, art or baseball cards. Heck, some people even collect bugs and rocks and comic books and those little spoons you find near the register in gift shops. A girl named Mimi, however, collected words. She collected words she heard, tintinnabulating. She collected words she saw, shop, spelled with 2 P's and an E. She collected words she read, the Emerald City of Oz. Certain words jumped out at her. Short and sweet words. Drift, spark, dream. 2-syllable words. Motif, candid, glimmer. And multi-syllable words that sounded like songs. Scrumptious, kaleidoscope, guacamole. There were words she didn't know the meaning of at first, but were marvelous to say. Aromatic, vociferous, effervescent. There were words that sound perfectly suited to their meanings. Molasses, bellow, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Whenever she discovered a new word, she'd shout it out loud, jot it on a piece of paper, and add it to her collection. Mimi's parents were practical and wondered what good could possibly come from a daughter with such a strange predilection. Her peers giggled at her and called her oddball. But that didn't stop her. Mimi filled scrapbooks with more and more words until they overwhelmed her bookshelves and blanketed the floor. While carrying a sack of her collection one day, she slipped and the books went flying and her words cascaded down like leaves from trees. And as she picked them up, she noticed that the words had become jumbled. Big words next to little. Chocolate star. Sad words next to dreamy. Silent rhapsody. Mimi began stringing words together. Savor electric peace. Her senses became sharper. She used her words to make poems and later turned them into songs. They moved. They delighted. Some of her simplest words had power. I understand. I'm sorry. Thank you. You matter. She passionately collected more and more words until she had a gargantuan sack full, a sack bigger than she was. And the more words she knew, the clearer she could share what it was she was thinking, feeling, and dreaming with the world. And from that day forth, Mimi's steps were light and filled with purpose. Ever the collector, she added new words as it pleased her. And when she became word heavy, she'd find ideal places to sprinkle, disperse, broadcast them. If the neighbors were fighting, she'd let words like fuss, jibber jabber, and hubbub rain down on them to help them notice their behavior. She'd watch them grow still and gaze kindly on one another after she cast hush, harmony, chum in their direction. One breezy afternoon, Mimi took a wagon with her bulging word collection in it, and at the top of the tallest hill in town, she smiled and emptied her collection into the wind, where it blew across the valley below. People there scurried about collecting words from the breeze, knowing that Mimi, now known as Wordsworth, was near. She had given this legion power, the delight of the perfect word to express themselves clearly. And Mimi had no words for how happy that made her feel. In this story, Mimi used the power of her words to define herself, even as others tried to take her mission and redefine it as a negative, calling her an oddball. We find ourselves in a similar situation these days now, don't we? Having our passions and our values minimized and mocked by people who have no idea of who we are, or, frankly, what the heck they're talking about. Over the past decade, attacks on language have deepened the divide in our country by negatively redefining terms once held in honor by those seen as being on the opposing side, dismissing opinions without actually understanding them. Personally, I live in a constant state of having to explain myself to people. I've had my words twisted and have been painted as an anti-Semite for speaking out on the invasion of Gaza. I've seen people shocked at my appearance upon meeting me in person after exchanging emails and phone calls. You're black? To others, I'm taking my silence and amused face and acceptance of their behavior versus just me not wanting to engage in their nonsense. Even in my first conversation in this congregation, I had an elder ask me why I was here. I don't think he meant any harm, but he wondered what would inspire someone like me to come here. And so I bring you some words. Unitarian Universalist. When I first found this faith, I was afraid to tell my family and oldest friends, as we were raised in faith traditions that considered UUs heathens. Too new agey to be a real faith. Not everyone believes in God, with the big G, Jesus, or had a codified dogma. We honor other faith traditions, science, and ways of being with the earth as equal sources of inspiration. Yeah, you're gonna burn. Remember, Unitarians got kicked out of traditional Christianity for not accepting the Trinity as real. Universalists don't believe a good God would damn his people to hell, so they got the boot too. Both traditions were derogatory terms, but they embraced their differences, came together as partners, and claimed its place as valid, honest-to-goodness theological legacies worthy of practice and presence as faith traditions. Snowflake. This word is thrown about as a slur for political liberals or progressives. In actuality, the term originated in the late 1800s to mean a person who was against abolishing slavery, a more politically conservative stance back in the day. But slavery is not a bad thing to be opposed to in pretty much the entire world's opinion. Yet this word is used to mock and dismiss those who value freedom as being too sensitive. Diversity. A term from 1300 Middle English to mean variety. Within humanity, it means a spectrum of individual differences, the corresponding group memberships and identities that human beings have, and their inclusion in society, national origin, color, religion, socio and economic stratum, sexual orientation, etc. Diversity doesn't take away from anyone. It expands the room to make space for more folks, spelled with an X. gathers us more tightly together. Woke first used as past tense to awake, but in 900 AD, it was brought into American English by African Americans. Folk and blues musician Leadbelly used it in 1938 in his song The Scottsboro Boys as a definition of the awareness of racism and injustice suffered by Black Americans, like those 9 boys falsely accused of raping 2 white women on a train in 1931 Alabama. I wonder, when did being politically aware and fighting for social justice become a bad thing? Once again, all labels to dismiss opinions without actually understanding them. What madness! How do we take back our language and redefine that which has been changed by leaders and talking heads in the media who quibble with semantics and flat out lie to us? How do we as Unitarian Universalists make the world a better place? How do we bring our light to this life? Karishma Gottfried, a young UU ministerial aspirant and friend of mine, says, "We are a prophetic faith. We are not complacent in the face of change, but rather pushing forward beyond our comfort to challenge the status quo and our role in oppression. What it means to practice faith in a responsible, progressive way. We are for sure the minority, but we can still have a big impact on the world." I believe one of the ways that we have a big impact is how we create change is by the words we use and take ownership of. Because our liberation is tied up in one another's. We're connected, and if we're not careful, we can bring true harm with our words. And when one of us is in pain, because we're connected, we're all in pain. So none of us can be whole without calling each other in. This is the creation of beloved community. This is our call as Unitarian Universalists. This was the call of our abolitionist ancestors like Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, who wrote newspaper articles, stories, and poems, and gave passionate speeches supporting the war, all for the abolition of slavery. This was the call of Dorothea Dix, who advocated to legislatures on behalf of the mentally ill. This was the call of Olympia Brown, the first ordained woman in clergy, who articulately advocated for women's rights and was one of the first few generation suffragists who was able to vote with the passage of the 19th Amendment. This was the call of Martha Sharp, who, along with her husband Waitstill, risked her life helping refugees escape Nazi persecution in Europe. This was the call of Joannie Blank, who used publishing, her sex store, and other endeavors to promote sex-positive feminism, prison reform, and economic equality. This was the call of Audre Lorde, a self-described Black lesbian feminist socialist mother warrior poet, who dedicated her life and talents to confronting different forms of injustice. And she believed that there could be no hierarchy of oppressions among those who share the goals of liberation and a workable future for our children. This is the call of a congregation like Beacon, a place I'm proud to call my church home, who provide support for immigrants, who use their voices at state houses and protests to bear witness, proclaiming that no one can be illegal on stolen land. We choose to fashion a better way. We choose to let a new earth rise. Let another world be reborn. The Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, reminds us, we are in control of what we do with our daily living. If we, each one of us, represent a missing remnant in the fabric of our collective future, then together we can lean into the possibility that we have yet to fully experience in human history, a collective wholeness, an unassailable good. So immerse yourself unapologetically in what it means to be Unitarian Universalist these days, and then go out in the world and live knowing that your faith matters. There have been many, many times in our history, and even today, where we've not done the right thing, where we've forgotten about what we are working all towards. To paraphrase Unitarian minister Theodore Parker, I don't pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one, and my eye reaches but a little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of my sight, but I can divide it by my conscience. And from what I see, I'm sure it bends toward justice. And the arc bends toward justice because there are people who are out there actively bending it, who are bending it towards justice because it's our duty to help heal the world, to fight for light in this life. Beacon, we are a community of thinkers and seekers. We are heretics, the word coming from the Greek to choose. We have chosen how we want to be in relationship with one another, what we draw our wisdom from, and what we believe through our shared values centered in love. We are a radical, liberal, and theologically rich faith. And like Mimi, using her words and sharing them with others, we must continue to use our words to bend the arc of the universe towards justice for all. So I've decided to take my words back. I'll be damned if I let somebody else tell my story. I'm reclaiming the narrative that is Jamaine. I need something of my own, and I proudly proclaim that I am a black, fat, snowflake, Unitarian Universalist heretic, woke to the world of injustice around me, yet so deeply in love with everything and everyone on this planet that I'm willing and ready to fight some people to make it a more diverse, just, and equitable place for all. I'm no longer afraid to say it aloud. I might just put it on a t-shirt. So, beloveds, I encourage you, reach for your own words. Don't let others define you. Tell the world who you are and how you will make it better, bringing forth more truth, clarity, and boldness into our living. As Margaret Walker said in For My People, let us become a people standing, staring, trying to fashion a better way from confusion, from hypocrisy and misunderstanding. Trying to fashion a world that will hold all people, all the faces, all the Adams and Eves, and their countless generations. Let a race of men now rise and take control. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
Thank you, Jamaine. So now we're going to do our closing song. But before we sing that, I just want to say once again, thank you, because it has been a joy to create music and worship together. And I couldn't be more grateful, actually. Thank you. In July, we always have music being led by congregants. And I want to say that Judy Brewer is going to be playing piano. And we're going to have different congregants who are going to be song leading. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing Come and Go With Me. Now that is number 1018 in the Teal hymnal. But I actually don't think you probably need to even look at the words. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound.
Thank you, Jamaine. Oh my goodness, thank you. We got a word today, and we appreciate it. Thank you for being vulnerable and courageous, and for all the years of service and brilliance you have brought to our beacon.
And I didn't cry.
Yeah, that's tears before the benediction, yeah. No, I do want to make one quick announcement, which is unfortunately we are going to have to postpone our rapid response training. I just got some messages from our trainer, and she woke up quite sick and is trying not to share what she has with all of us, which we appreciate, and we will announce a new scheduled date very soon as we can. And now, if you would take hands as we close with our benediction.
We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for one another, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. So go now with hearts and hands and minds renewed to the world that is waiting for you. Bring your gentle touch to those in pain. Feed and house those in need. Speak truth to those in power. Go out now with your passion and your faith to change the world until we are together again, beloved. Amen.
Amen.